And if you train your skull for about an hour a day, bang it against the wall, after a year it becomes 4 times thicker than it really is.
This guy might just be the most dangerous man on earth. You see, I didn't know what a true alpha male looks like in the flesh, but today I found out. And his name is King Azule. And if you're wondering if he's really a king, no, he's not. That's actually a self-appointed title. His real name is Ben. But he's been kind enough to grace the internet with his wisdom and alpha male experiences we can all learn from. So without further ado, let's take a look.
People look at me as soon as I walk in and they're like, who is this guy? I look like I'm going to hurt somebody. I don't look like I walk into a place and I'm just coming to have a good time, or I'm coming to eat lunch. When I walk in, it's like I'm literally going to hurt.
My God. Is anybody else's heart racing right now? Even watching this video scared me a bit. I thought he was going to hurt me through the screen somehow. This really is a guy who looks like he's going to hurt someone.
I look like I'm going to hurt somebody.
Yeah, genuinely delusional. The only person even looking at you in the first place is probably the cameraman you hired to follow you around and take these videos of you in public. Yeah, get this shot of me on my phone with the watch while I look cool and dangerous.
From that point on, my dad knew he couldn't take on. Now I was 13. He picked up a stick, a wooden stick, and he went to hit me over the head. And I did this, and it broke. And then I took it out of his hand, threw it on the floor, kicked him in the leg, picked him up, and threw him on the coffee table. Coffee table broke in half. That's the beauty that we are actually superhuman. We just don't unlock these genes because we don't put our body and our mind through the pressure. There's something called microfractions. Little microfractions that you cause with hitting the bone thickens the bone. I used to sit there and hit my shins with a hammer all fucking day. Do you know why people wear boxing gloves? So they don't fuck up their hands by hitting somebody's head. Your head is the strongest bone in the body. And if you train it and bang it enough for a whole year, it becomes 4 times thicker. When we hurt, we cry. And I learned that at a young age. That's what I learned from the Shaolin Monks. Go watch them when they spar, when they battle, or when they have a fight. Boom, they turn their head. Wherever you're hitting, they just turn their head. You punch their head, you're breaking your hand. And he went to hit me over the head.
The only part of this that's true is him getting hit over the head with a stick by his dad, because that's what may have caused these delusions. Everything else after that head injury is just a fantasy he created.
Kicked him in the leg, picked him up, and threw him on the coffee table.
Like, that story literally sounds like it was made up by a 12-year-old. But I guess maybe that's his audience that he's that he's targeting here. Also, I don't know what he's going on about with the micro fractures. Even if you increase your bone density through healing and whatnot, bones are still bones at the end of the day. He's making it sound like he's made out of fucking steel. No, you punch a concrete wall with your hand repeatedly, or someone's head, you're gonna break your hand like a dumbass regardless of your bone density.
When I was 10, my dad took me to the doctor and he was like, what did you do to this kid? Are you giving him steroids? He's like, no, the kid doesn't stop lifting things, doesn't stop doing pull-ups, push-ups. So I don't know what to do with him. A year ago, I realized when there's kids that are extremely hyper, he does not have ADD. He's just being a boy, but his soul is higher than the body. Our soul, when it comes to this world, it doesn't want to come into this body. The body restrains the soul. It doesn't allow you to go anywhere. Our body and our soul are business partners, and we cannot detach them unless we die. But as I was working out, I realized that my soul was higher than my body, and I wanted to expand my body so much so my soul will fit inside and will not feel claustrophobic. And when I got to 235 pounds, I felt so happy. I was walking around with a smile everywhere. I could breathe. And that's why I was working out.
Guy just said a whole lot of nothing. Like, does he supplement shrooms along with his daily steroid injection? Because that's what it sounds like. Actually, maybe he doesn't need steroids at all. He said the doctor thought he was already on them as a kid, which is almost definitely him projecting about his current steroid use. I would not be surprised at all. Also, something I noticed about all these clips is that he always seems to be talking on his podcast, having a conversation with someone, yet I never hear anybody else talking. There's never anyone else in the shot either. This guy is literally recording himself alone in his studio, yapping away, pretending to have a conversation with someone. Or maybe he's just schizophrenic, who knows?
called my bank, and when I called them, I asked for $250,000. Now, for me, $250,000 is not much money. As you guys could understand, $250,000 is not much money. When I called the bank and said, hey, I'd like to pick up $250,000 because I need it for my podcast, I want to show a little bit of money. They said to me, well, we're probably going to need for anything over $20,000 to make an order, which will take about 3.5 to 4 weeks to arrive. Then we're going to need an armed guard that's going to meet you, walk you to your car, and make sure that you drive away with the money. So then I said, look, I need just $250,000 and it's not that much money. And the bank pretty much told me, Ben, it might not be a lot of money for you, but it's a lot of money. So I told him, look, if you get me $250,000 in 4 weeks, it's fine, I'll wait. It took about 5 weeks, and that's why we delayed this podcast, for me to receive $160,000. That's all they were able to scrap. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, he's definitely right about this being a bunch of bullshit. Also, in what world do you need $250,000 to start a podcast? A podcast is something anybody and their grandma could start in their basement if they wanted to. He even said $250,000 isn't much money to him, too. So then why do you need a loan? If you're a rich, self-made billionaire like you say you are, I would think you could scrounge up $250K from $1 billion for your podcast. Ironically, this is a perfect example of why not everyone should have a podcast. I've yet to hear anything leave this guy's mouth that isn't pure delusions or him saying a whole lot of nothing.
F students are the creators of the world. I was a high school dropout, but I also got kicked out of 17 schools in total. But I never let school get in the way of my education because I don't believe in school. A students are my #1 employees. B are my managers. The C, those are the ones that are like almost an owner, on the verge of becoming a business owner to being a manager. And then you have the D, that those are business owners.
Yes.
And then you have the F, and the F are the ones that create new inventions for the world.
And change the world.
Change the world completely.
Yes.
But as long as you understand that school does not let you forget about educating yourself. So you don't want school? No problem. I'm all for that. Whatever they teach you today, you don't really need it. You're not going to use it later on in life. Who cares about the Boston Tea Party? And let's not forget that they probably reshaped the reality of whatever history was, right?
Yeah, that's right, everyone. Grades don't matter. Get Fs. You're gonna be the next Steve Jobs, bro. He didn't graduate. Guys, the people who get Fs are the ones who escaped the Matrix. You didn't know this? He definitely made this video to target all the F students to buy his course. Because he does have courses and coaching calls available. Get Fs and escape the Matrix today with a coaching call from King Azule.
You know that the Shaolin Monks don't ever end their life?
How did you even get connected with them?
When we came to the US, I started eating at a Chinese restaurant. The owner was, for me, Master Shifu. When I used to go there, eventually the owner fell in love with me. And he said, that kid is special. And I would come to him, and before I would eat, he would move all of the tables and he would teach me Kung Fu. And
So
I was
cool.
10 years old. So I learned how to move with like Kung Fu, you know?
Yeah.
It was different. And I loved it. And that inspired me because I said, I'm going to be like Oops. And I would come there every day and I would train after school. And after I would have my beef and broccoli. And from there, when I got older, I said, I really want to go and train with the Shaolin Monks. First of all, they don't accept you. Today, they do, by the way. You pay to go there.
How did you get in?
You have to wait outside of the temple. When they let you in, they teach you things that are unbelievable.
This did not happen. I think he watched Karate Kid one too many times on his shroom trips and tricked his brain into karate-induced psychosis. He may have lost his mind at this point.
With like Kung Fu, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost kind of impressed in a way that you're even able to come up with this stuff with so much conviction.
After many years of training, and I trained all types of martial arts, I was training my fists, my elbows, my knees, and my shins to become indestructible. After that, I went and traveled to China and trained with some Shaolin monks, and they explained to me that the strongest part of the body is actually your skull. And if you train your skull for about an hour a day, bang it against the wall, after a year it becomes 4 times thicker than it really is. The stronger that I got and the more indestructible that I got, I found myself never fighting again.
See, I can see this being true. you have definitely banged your head against the wall one too many times. That's the only way I could see anyone living in pure fantasy to the extent that King Azule is. Like, I wonder if that's part of his coaching program. 100 headbang reps against the concrete wall outside, then 100 hammer hits to the shin. After that, befriend your local Chinese restaurant owner to get in touch with Shaolin Monks in China. I think it goes without saying, but do not buy any of these courses or coaching services. We are in an alpha male epidemic right now, and it looks like these people will say just about anything, literally anything, to get any sucker to give them some money. But anyways, I think that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more juicy videos coming soon to the channel, and let me know if you've been swayed and convinced to sign up to King Azule's alpha male coaching. Maybe I'm the clown here, and I'm not recognizing the King's greatness, but let me know. Leave a comment. Peace.
For that reason, I've created a Telegram channel, the F Student Council.